All right. And I believe we're live. My name is Veron Graham, as you can see on the screen. And I am going to do a brief website audit, website review, whatever you want to call it, a complete funnel review of a website today. And the site that we're going to be going through is swiftkicklife.com. And I'll put it on the screen briefly. But this is a site that's authored and founded by Jennifer Sparks, and it's about health, wellness, and mindset coaching. And just going to pluck out a few things that that I observed on the site that I believe can increase or optimize the site, optimize the results, make it a bit more of an intentional site, and hopefully increase her conversion so she can get more of the results that she's currently getting right now. And I'm going to pay particular attention to how she and others that have websites like hers can use trust to improve that those conversions, because trust is the huge part of your ideal customer avatar, your ideal audience coming to your site and not leaving right away, and staying and hopefully wanting to begin a relationship with you, give you their email and hear from you and kind of grow from there. So trust is something that she does on the site. But anyways, enough rambling. I'm going to jump right into it and share, do a little screen share here for you so you can see her site. So there's Jennifer right there. Swift Kick Life. And let me just run through a few things that I noticed, and curious to hear if anyone's if you're looking at this in the comments, feel free to give your feedback as well. But so my first impressions right away, right, of Swift Kick Life is the URL is something that I look at immediately to just kind of gauge my reaction, and I'm trying to get into the mind of the customer or the website visitor that's coming to Jennifer's site, and what their impression might be just from the name of the URL of the domain. And Swift Kick Life begins to kind of get me a little bit familiar with what she might be doing, like a swift kick in the behind, so to speak. And I see, okay, health, wellness, and mindset coaching. Okay, so she's a life coach maybe, and she is that swift kick, right? Get happy now. So I like that. And the best URLs are pretty short and intuitive in that way. And I would say for the most part, her URL does that. The next thing I would look at is her ICA clear. And ICA, I'm referring to ideal customer avatar. Like who is she speaking to? And is that person, if they come to the site, will they immediately see that the site is important to them? And now that's something that I think there's a lot of contributing factors to how that might speak to that ideal customer avatar. And I believe that her layout, some of the colors, I'm jumping the gun maybe a bit here and saying that she might be speaking to other women. But again, I might be, assuming way too much there. So I think that there might be a bit more in the header part, like up here, when you just immediately come to the site that could communicate maybe who she's speaking to. But I believe that those folks that are interested in health, wellness, and mindset, there's some correlation there when you see that. But maybe a statement of who the site is for might help with that. Now, beyond just speaking, making sure that your messaging is clear to your ideal kind of audience, I'm also looking for how clear or how strong your USP is, right? So that's your unique selling proposition. Like, why should your ideal audience member or your ideal client or ideal customer You could use any of these phrases to kind of speak to who you're speaking to. Why should they choose you? And that goes a little deeper into kind of carving out what is unique about what Jennifer is offering. Um, and I think there could be a little there's some room for growth there, um, in stating what is and that's a deep question that you can really spend a lot of time thinking, and it's really connecting. It's connected to how Claire Jennifer is on who she's speaking to, and doing that kind of you know that evaluation and asking why should that person choose her, and seeing that reflected somewhere here. And right now I'm not getting that. I'm not getting that what's unique about that. Now, you know, just the fact that it's connected to her, you know, some people's USPs are their personality and who's behind it, and that's something that could become apparent after checking out some of her content and how she writes and her videos and stuff like that. So again, this is a very quick flyover review of how this site is doing, and maybe some pointers to improve. Um, so I like the fact that she is in the header right here. So you immediately see, okay, and might identify, all right, I'm like her. So, oh, I want to connect with Jennifer, and I see her picture there, etc. And so maybe there's something unique that she might offer that I might come to find out as I dig in. But it's just something to consider. This is for anyone watching, and obviously for Jennifer as well. Now, is there something for me to do right away? You know, when you come to the site, it's something that you are, you know, you're making these evaluations right, you know, in a couple minutes as to, is this site for me? What is it about? All these things are going through your mind really quickly. And there's something, it helps if there's something that maybe I can do. Like if I came, I read an article or somebody shared it and I came to the site and I'm like, man, I want more information. Is it clear relatively quickly if there's something that I can do, or, you know, some value that Jennifer can offer me based on what her site is about that I could identify? And I see right up here that she does have Grab the Free Life. My Google Hangout menu is covering up the thing there, but you see the that bar up here where there's an offer there where you can put in your email address and get something, and so it shows that Jennifer and the site are intentional. They do have some value that they're offering and means for that website visitor to reach out their hand and shake hers and stay in touch, and she can continue the conversation and get to know them a bit better, and I mean they can get to know her a bit better. So that's good. I would Okay, so this gets me into the subject of trust, and as a major contributing factor to folks landing on your site and staying there and wanting to establish that relationship with you by putting in their email address and really giving you that vote of confidence so you can kind of continue the relationship with them. So I want to look really quickly at what are some of the ways to establish trust on your page. And having contact information. All right, I see there that there's you know what? I am using my mouse on the actual Google video and not, so now you can actually see what I'm pointing at. So I see over here that there's a contact tab. So that's good. There's social proof. So, you know, you can kind of snoop around and see, all right, are people interacting with her? What are people saying on all of her other homes on the internet, right? So she has a bunch of places that she hangs out, and you can go check her out there. And at the bottom, I noticed that she also shares her page, and you see immediately that there's some likes. So those are all Instagram. You can see, wow, okay, she has followers. People are interacting with her. This is a real person offering real value. Now, there's something that I really like that Jennifer is doing, and that's the as seen in section. which is another thing that I think can really help establish trust. If you can put the logos of the people that you work with, or the publications that you've been on, or people that have kind of given you their vote of confidence, right? Uh, that's great. And she has a section dedicated to that. Um, and up at the top, Jennifer does show her face. And so showing your face is also, particularly if you're a coach, right? Um, helps with trust. This is, it gives personality. This is not just some big or small company without a soul, without somebody behind it, and so she is not ashamed to say, "Hey, it's me, best-selling author Jennifer Sparks." Now, I would say there's a couple things that I think she could do. I believe, if I were her, I would suggest moving this as seen in section up top. Right. So when you land on the site, it's great to kind of say, all right, well, immediately the trust factors begins, right? So I see her picture. I see that there's a bit of an authority aspect to Jennifer here. This is not just some person claiming something. She actually is educated in this field. She has an undergrad degree, she has a master's degree in this subject. So I would continue that kind of proof that I think Jennifer does a great job in doing, and moving that as seen in section that's all the way down here up here. And I don't have the time to show some examples of that, but maybe Jennifer had a reason for why she did that. But that's one thing that I would change. Let's see what else. And testimonials. Testimonials are something that establish trust, and and it's akin to the as seen in section. Who has Jennifer worked with? What have they been saying? And from my brief overview, I didn't see a testimonial section on her site. That's something that I would, if I missed it, my bad. But if not, that's something that I would add, and preferably even on the front, on the homepage. And you want to have a strong about page. That's something else that establishes trust, right? So you go to a site, you're like, I mean, who's this person? What are they about? So you click on the about tab, and most sites that have an about page, and that's recommended for establishing trust. And again, that helps with your conversions. And so it was a little tricky to see that when I was looking. I couldn't really see an about page if you're looking at the menu here, and maybe it's tucked away somewhere, but I don't immediately see that. So that's something that I would recommend. What else? A guarantee is something that people use to establish trust. These days, it's almost de facto to have a guarantee. So folks are even coming out with stronger guarantees, right, than 30 days money back or whatever. So having some sort of guarantee, if you're a coach or you're selling something or you're offering some kind of service, you want to stand by it. A guarantee might be a good idea. Now, that's just something I'm throwing out there. If Jennifer feels that is a good fit, I would recommend exploring that as well. Now, some things that she does do when it comes to trust is that she establishes her educational qualifications in the header. So I want to point that out as something positive. And also, she does show here that she's an author, which is a great thing. And you see the Amazon logo, right? So this is something that really establishes her as someone that is a published author in this space. Huge. One thing I will say to Jennifer or anyone else, that when you want to have maybe one call to action in the header space up here, the less I have to think about what I'm doing, the better. So I would recommend that I see up here, there's a call to action, grab a free live assessment tool. I wanted to click here on the Amazon link, and that's why I'm pointing it out. So it's a good thing in establishing trust, but it was a bit confusing in terms of what should I click on that, and then when I click on it, it didn't go to where I thought it would go, which is Amazon. So that's something that that was a bit confusing there. Now, in regards to content, and this will be, I'll wrap up my review now. I like that I saw that she does have a blog. Blogs, content in general, you know, whether they be videos or otherwise, are great ways of attracting people to your website and beginning that there's some call to action. And I checked out a few of her articles, and yes, there were. So another great thing you want to pay attention to. Overall, love the design layout. It's a little busy here in the menu. Again, the idea is you want to attract your ideal customer avatar to your site and kind of direct them. So the less options you have and the less things to confuse or friction points, the better. And I felt like there might have been a little bit too many options here in the menu. So that's something else to maybe clean up and check out. The load time, here I pulled up. This is another just a technical aspect. When you come on a site, you want it to load pretty quickly, and Jennifer's site loaded pretty well. This is a site that I used. You can check it out, pingdom.com, and it's got a 92 out of 100, load time 6.8. Website is slower than 78% of all tested websites, but overall, not a bad load time. And this is something that you can improve by seeing how many inactive plugins that you might have on your in your admin area of WordPress or whatever platform you're using. I'm focused on WordPress, so deactivate, get rid of those plugins, and see if you can kind of use only what you need. That can help you out with your load times there. Overall, I would say pretty good, Jennifer, with SwiftKick Life. Pay attention to some of those trust points that I mentioned to you, and you know, getting a bit clear on what's unique about your selling proposition. And it always helps to kind of dig down into, well, who am I speaking to, and am I really thinking in terms of who my ideal customer avatar is? And I see some of that intentionality here. I hope this review has helped, and feel free to give me your feedback. Until next time, take care.